the station that's on your side. This is News 12 at 6 o'clock.
Tonight at 6 o'clock, people waved and cheered for a parade in MLK's honor. But what does the holiday mean to those who come out to get to the holiday or take the day off? We're taking a look at how the CSRA is celebrating the holiday later on. But first, the Aiken County School District is speaking out after one of their middle school teachers was arrested this week. 35-year-old Raquel Stevens was taken in on multiple drug charges and unlawful neglect of a child. She made headlines back in 2018 when she forgot her toddler was still inside her car and left them there for 10 hours while teaching at North Augusta Middle. And the school district says a year later, those charges were dropped and the state reinstated her teaching certificate. She continued to work as a teacher there without any issues. And after these recent charges, the district says she's on administrative leave at the moment. This all came to light when Aiken County deputies executed search warrants on Wednesday for two suspects accused of beating a 17-year-old and leaving him naked on the side of the road, seizing pounds of drugs during the investigation. Deputies arrested Patrick Stevens on attempted murder, kidnapping, possession of a weapon, and many counts of drug possession. Meanwhile, Derek Nixon was charged with presenting a firearm, and Ricky Drayton was charged with operating a stash house and drug possession. Well, this weekend kicks off a couple of Martin Luther King Jr. celebrations before the official holiday on Monday. It comes every year around the third Monday in January, which typically includes a mix of community service, faith, and celebrations. Still, how do people choose to live their day as Dr. King did? Our Sydney Hood is live in the studio tonight, and once she got back from the MLK parade at Dias Park, Sydney, what was the energy at today's parade, and what did it mean for families that came out?
Well, Craig, today was all about tradition, decades of tradition to be exact. Some families out there today have been coming to this parade since the very start. It's all to honor the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and to educate a new generation of his work, all while keeping in tune with those family values.
We've been coming to this parade for over 40 years. We've always stood on the corner of Pine Street. My grandmother used to bring us here and tell us all about Martin Luther King and what he believed in.
And coming up all new tonight on News 12 at 11 o'clock, we'll introduce you to more folks out there honoring Dr. King and why they continue to do so.
Really exciting stuff to see from our own community. Thanks for that, Sydney Hood. We're now going to toss things over to First Lady
in just a bit.
Well, officials from Selma, Alabama say there are no deaths so far from the severe storms on Thursday, but other people are still recovering from their injuries. Thursday's storms brought down heavy damage on Selma, where crews spent hours with cranes picking up debris, looking for survivors, and picking up power lines in the streets. One man who hid underneath a mattress says cleaning up is going to take a long time.
This is going to be long term. This is not a short term fix right here. How long it's going to take, I have no idea. How long it's going to take me and her to do what we got to do, I have no idea.
Selma is widely known as one of the city's civil rights protesters marched through for voting rights in the 1960s, but one homeowner says it's time to consider thinking about the city's current families and communities who need help bringing their home back to life. And the White House has announced an additional 5 classified documents were found at President Biden's home in Delaware. According to law enforcement officials, they say that 20 documents marked classified have been found at his home and the former Penn Center. Christian Benavides has more from Miami.
Lawyers for President Biden say they found more classified documents at his Delaware home this week. The news comes after the White House announced Thursday that one page was discovered during a search of the president's private library. Saturday's disclosure brings that number to 6. That's in addition to documents found in December in the president's garage. And CBS News has learned that approximately 10 documents marked classified and discovered in November at his former offices in the Penn Biden Center in Washington from when he was vice president included top secret material.
To be labeled top secret, information needs to be judged to be extraordinarily damaging to the United States, should it get into the wrong hands.
On Thursday, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre was asked whether Mr. Biden could guarantee more would not turn up.
You should assume that it's been completed, yes.
A White House lawyer, Richard Sauber, released a statement Saturday saying in part, "While I was transferring it to the DOJ officials who accompanied me, 5 additional pages with classification markings were discovered among the material with it, for a total of 6 pages. The DOJ officials with me immediately took possession of them." Sauber said the White House will cooperate with a special counsel, Robert Hur, who was appointed by Attorney General Merrick Garland to investigate the matter. Says the president did not know that previously discovered records were in his home, adding that his team reached out to the National Archives and Justice Department when they were discovered. Christian Benavides, CBS News.
And House Republicans have announced their own investigation, saying Americans deserve accountability and transparency. The government is still conducting a separate probe into classified documents found at former President Trump's estate in Florida. And as officials deal with widespread flooding across California, some Los Angeles crews and deputies are dealing with this massive sinkhole. LA fire crews say 2 vehicles fell into it at the beginning of the week, one on top of the other. They saved 2 people from the pickup truck on top, but a mother and her daughter were trapped until the cars could shift and roll over. They've been taken to the hospital for treatment, and officials estimate that a hole is at least 40 feet deep. Well, also in California, a community is mourning the loss of a deputy after an officer-involved shooting last night. During a press conference, Riverside County deputies say Deputy Darnell Calhoun was the first one to respond to a domestic violence and child custody call last night. From there, deputies say the details are unclear, but they believe a suspect started the shooting at Calhoun as he walked up to the door. When another deputy arrived, he found Calhoun wounded on the street. He was rushed to the hospital with life-threatening injuries and was pronounced dead hours later.
We are sadly in a time where there is a growing population that has absolutely zero respect for other people. They have zero respect for authority. They have zero respect for law enforcement. And nationwide, we are confronting these situations with armed individuals that, over what seemingly seem to be minor disagreements, are willing to engage law enforcement in life and death gun battles.
Officials said the suspect was treated at the scene and transported to the hospital where he is currently in critical condition. An investigation is still ongoing. And 3 people from Sumter County are behind bars in connection with a drug trafficking scheme. South Carolina officials say deputies seized over $160,000 worth of meth alone. And this is how many bags that looks like from the sheriff's office. On Monday, deputies made a traffic stop on the interstate for a rented car that appeared to have marijuana in plain sight of that vehicle. That search recovered 32 bags of suspect meth pills wrapped in clothing, along with bags of tubes of marijuana. And Regional Medical Center in Orangeburg is trying out a new program for surgeries with robots. A new general surgeon there says the center has had a robot in the operating room for a little over a year, and they want to expand the program to create a robotic surgery-based center. He says it's beneficial for patients because it brings them a little less pain afterwards, but also to build trust.
Calhoun, Orangeburg counties, and the surrounding counties are well known to be hugely medically underserved. So by putting that in place here, it makes the care local. And it also provides more of a trust with coming to RMC and getting care locally, which is important for the community as well as the individual patient.
He says the center's already started using the robot for abdominal surgeries and emergency operations, and they plan to continue to collect more data over time to consider more patients for robotic surgery. Well, still to come, emergency officials and the National Weather Service are going door to door to see what's left after several storms from this week. Find out how they're addressing broken homes after this.
And things are a lot quieter for the weekend. We are tracking our next chance for rain moving in as we head towards Tuesday. Your full forecast comes up next.
It's a new year, and many homeowners start thinking about home improvement projects this time of year. Your roof is one of the most important investments for the security of your home, and thankfully, the professionals at Roof Savers specialize in roof rejuvenation, which will extend the life of your asphalt shingle roof by 5 to 15 years. before you even think about a full roof replacement, please call Roof Savers now and save thousands of dollars with the lab-tested, USDA-approved, bio-based product from Greener Shingles and Roof Savers. I'm here with Russell Beckham, one of the owners of Roof Savers. And Russell, explain what roof rejuvenation is and the Roof Savers process.
So, roof rejuvenation is the process of reintroducing the protective qualities to asphalt shingles, such as the flexibility, the granular adhesion, and also adding resistance to hail damage. So we have a couple-step process. Our first visit to a customer's home is to evaluate the roof to make sure it qualifies for roof rejuvenation. We are looking for any leak-prone areas such as damaged pipe boots, loose chimney flashing, things like that, and we want to correct all that before the process is started. Then we will soft wash your roof to make sure all the black algae and moss and dirt come off. Then the roof is treated with the rejuvenation to extend the life of the roof.
I believe in the roof rejuvenation process so much we had it done on our roof at our home. Listen to my husband, Ryan.
The roof is a major expense. This product can save you a ton of money. As you can see the before and afters, and it is plain as day. This was simple, in and out process. It's a win-win for everybody. My roof went from old and damaged looking to clean and new.
Please dial the number on your screen right now and extend the life of your roof by 5 to 15 years and save thousands of dollars in the process. Your roof inspection is free, so what do you have to lose? Call now.
Hear what other people are saying about Roof Savers? Use the keywords Roof Savers Georgia on Google and check us out online at myroofsavers.com.
All the tools.
Thanks for the heads up, Mikkel. Well, Georgia officials now know a tornado touched down in LaGrange on Thursday, and they say it'll take another day or so to map out its path of destruction. Zach Summers takes us there, where at least 3 families are without a home.
Freight is pretty much gone.
By the time Valerie Jocelyn's husband ran through the door of their house Thursday afternoon and into the closet where she was hiding,
it was fast.
A reported tornado was already ripping through their Baldwin Park subdivision on the south side of LaGrange.
You could hear it just go boom and just kind of pull apart. You could hear the walls shifting, and he just got this look on his face like, oh no, and just threw himself on top of me.
Their home, one of more than 100 damaged or destroyed in the storm that displaced at least 3 families.
When you look at some of the damage, it's truly amazing that people survived some of this.
Dave Natler is the warning coordination meteorologist for the National Weather Service in Peachtree City. On Friday, he was in Troup County looking for damage indicators to determine the intensity and path of the tornado.
Houses, structures, warehouses, power poles, trees, you name it. So anything that actually sustains damage, we can then assign like a degree of damage to get an estimated wind speed for each of those indicators that we see along the path.
Nadler says damage surveyed in LaGrange points to an EF1 or EF2 tornado, meaning winds could have reached 110 miles per hour.
Unbelievably sad.
While the Jocelyns are happy to be alive, Valerie says it's tough to say goodbye to the home the couple has shared for nearly 20 years.
We're older, you know, we're 60s and 70s, and it's like starting over is kind of hard to fathom at this point.
Well, coming up, now that Lisa Marie Presley is gone, her family and friends are figuring out where the rock and roll legend's daughter will be laid to rest. Stick around after the break to hear where.
New year, new truck event is on at all 4 Miracle dealerships in the CSRA. And rebates and incentives like these are back.
New Ram 1500s. Get rebates up to $4,500 and interest rates as low as 1.9%.
Learn more at mymiracleadvantage.com.
TV, on air, and online. News 12's First Alert Traffic Network is sponsored by Mountaineer Pest Services. Protect your home at stopmybugs.com.
The daughter of Elvis Presley will be buried at Graceland in Memphis, Tennessee. Lisa Marie Presley will be buried next to her son, who died in 2020. Elvis and other members of the family are also buried there, and Presley's fans left flowers at Graceland's gates yesterday. She died Thursday after being taken to the hospital for cardiac arrest, and she was 54 years old. Well, more than any other grocery item, eggs have surged in price. Economists blame the 2022 avian flu and inflation. Now, some St. Louis businesses are left with tough decisions to make: raise prices or absorb costs. Tracy Henson has more.
2 owners, same problem.
I mean, eggs is not something we can live without.
But you gotta use eggs. I mean, or bakery.
Since Made by Leah opened in 2020, the price of eggs has skyrocketed.
They were $17 for a whole case when we started, and now we're paying like $60 a case.
Whether it's eggs for cookies or eggs for scrambles, it's hurting the bottom line.
Our margin has gone way down over the last several months.
Still, both Leah and Aaron are holding out on big price changes.
We have been absorbing not only egg prices, but all food prices in our menus currently.
We're trying to have a balance and still get the customers coming in with a great product, but yet still being able to pay my employees and pay the bills. So it's kind of it's a challenge.
While the price of a chocolate chip cookie at your neighborhood bakery might have stayed the same over the past few months, if egg prices continue, they could be going up.
I mean, you can't really justify selling a $5 chocolate chip cookie. I think that just sounds a little ridiculous. But of course, if we had to, we would.
There are egg alternatives, but
we definitely don't want to use any fake eggs or anything like that because it really does not compare to the real egg.
There is no substitute for the real thing.
They have vegan options, but both Leah and Aaron only use those in specific recipes, and both tell me they aren't any less expensive.
Well, coming up after the break, the dog celebration returns home to Athens. Sports reporter Liz Lyons has the latest on the dogs coming up next.
Oh, wait, what is the internet got to do with my hair?
You're watching News 12 on your side.
On your sideline, sports brought to you by the Hawk Law Group.
Well, every celebration must come to an end, so why not go out with a bang at home? The National Championship Trophy finally made its way through the street of Athens today. The Dogs returned to Sanford one last time this season in fashion, riding through the streets on BMWs, fire trucks to bring home the trophy they set out for this time last year. Anyone and everyone hit the stadium podium, including Governor Brian Kemp. Kemp declared today's celebration as Georgia Bulldogs National Championship Saturday in Georgia, a mouthful. Then head coach Kirby Smart took to the mic to remind everyone how historic this season truly was.
This is a special group. These young men, most of them, sat on this stage last year, and every one of them took advantage of a hell of an opportunity in front of them when everybody in the country, I didn't have one guy, not even our very own David Pollock, that said this group would even make the playoffs. They had something different in mind.
And they did, back-to-back champions for the first time in the college football playoff era, and another flag to hang outside Sanford to prove it. Over in the Peach Belt Conference, Augusta held things down in Columbus, picking up 10 over the Cougars on the road. It's their 10th straight win. And Aiken, it was a different fate for the Pacers, falling to the Hurricanes 62-58.
Well, thank you for that, and go Dogs. After the holiday season, some animals in Chicago got to enjoy leftover Christmas trees that were repurposed. The Brookfield Zoo near Chicago let their polar bears, African lions, and their African painted dogs search for meat hidden inside the branches this past Friday. Some reindeer and bison also played with the trees themselves, and the zoo says more than 800 trees decorated by families, community organizations, and corporations during the holiday will be chipped and used as mulch in the park.
Well, it is a cold night ahead for us across the city.
It's time to play America's favorite jackpot game. This is Powerball. Good evening, America. I'm Laura Johnson. Tonight we have another life-changing jackpot for you. It's worth an estimated $397.4 million. So get those tickets out. Let's play. That first number up is 24. Followed by the number 26. Tonight we're going to meet Gina Jones, who won $50,000 playing Powerball. Congratulations, Gina. Now for the rest of those numbers, we've got 57, 39, rounding it out tonight, with 47. Your Powerball number tonight, good luck everyone, is 23, and your Power Play multiplier is 2. Let's take a look at those numbers one last time, and we will see you back here Monday night. Good night, everyone.
from the station that's on your side. This is News 12, NBC 26 at 11.
Good evening. Augusta kicked off the weekend by celebrating MLK Day with a parade. On Monday, the holiday typically involves a day of service, practicing faith, or living your life like Martin Luther King Jr. would. Our Sydney Hood is live in the studio tonight after stopping by the parade. Tells what this day means for families here in the CSRA.
Well, Craig, hundreds lined the streets today to see bands, floats, and of course catch some candy. It's a tradition for many, and it's all to support the message that Dr. King spent his entire life trying to spread.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be working, but I took an extra day off today so I could come to the parade.
Marching bands, dancers, and candy, all the essentials for a parade.
We've been coming to this parade for over 40 years. We've always stood on the corner of Pine Street.
And right here, a tradition continues.
My grandmother used to bring us here and tell us all about Martin Luther King and what he believed in.
A lesson now passed down to a new generation.
We have children following in our footsteps, and we just want them to remember and know what he has done for generations to come.
The celebration for these parade goers goes beyond the music and the floats.
The holiday means a day on instead of a day off, acts of service, working in our community.
Here, it's not lost in the crowd what it means to be together.
I want to keep our family together and make sure that even though we separate and go our own separate ways as adults, that we still come back together and celebrate something that's important to us and our family.
Coming together right back where it all started.
Everybody we know to show up right here on Pine Street every year.
Now, if you missed the parade today, the celebrations are only getting started. For more information on how you can get involved in the upcoming community events, check out the story on our website at wrdw.com.
Awesome start to the weekend. Thanks for that, Sydney Hood.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Toss things over now for some weather. First alert meteorologist Callahan Harding. How's it looking?
Well, it was a chilly day today, so out there